I was really looking forward to this movie because Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Micah Monroe, they both do thrillers really, really well. And so this reimagining of Hand That Rocks the Cradle is based off the original 1992 movie. I saw it 4 years ago, so it's not so fresh in my mind, but when I briefly looked at this movie, it's not supposed to be a direct remake. So the story is not exactly like the first one. It is a reimagining. The original is set in Seattle, and did I say the original or the reimagining? The original is set in Seattle, and the remake or the reimagining is set in Los Angeles. And I would say that this movie also reminds me of Single White Female, which I did see all the way through maybe in 2019. So I don't remember like all the specifics, but I do feel like some of the elements to this movie does remind me a little bit of that movie. And then also Orphan. It's part unexpected twist. So the twist in this, genuinely for me, I did not expect it. I would not have predicted this twist. However, it's also partly very predictable. You have seen this movie before. There are a lot of movies like it. But I can at least give credit where credit is due. The twist was original. So, completely average movie, mostly nothing new. But I would say if you're just looking for something new to put on, it's worth a watch. But right off the bat, say it with me now. And I don't care how this sounds. Do not invite a young, attractive, most likely crazy woman to especially not live in your house and take care of your children. But just don't invite them into your home, period, to take care of your children. Don't care how it sounds. Look at the evidence. How many people have you heard of who's I'm not even talking about something of this level where there's like murder, mayhem, just these women, I'm convinced, a lot of them, not all, but a lot of them are coming up in your house. They're playing backup mommy, and they really want your husbands and your kids. Listen, how many celebrity marriages have been broken up by the nanny? How many average marriages have been broken up by the nanny? I can think of one true crime story because I can tie everything back to a true crime. There's a woman whose YouTube video is called True Crime, I think. Anyway, she's actually pretty funny. I haven't watched her videos in a little while, but I can tie everything back to a true crime story. There was one that I heard not too long ago about this man and woman. I think she was a nurse, and he was like in the government, like high up in the government, and maybe not the government, maybe he was like a high up lawyer in the government or something. I'm getting the details not exactly right, but they got a nanny from one of these nanny services. She comes in, the husband takes a liking, because don't they? And then they conspire to get rid of the children's mother. So, I will not take back what I said. Do not have them in your home. Find somebody else to babysit your children. So now, I'm going to get into some spoilers, talk about the movie a little bit. Right off the bat, Caitlin, I feel like, as type A, she's a lawyer, she's the mom, she's Mary Elizabeth Winstead's character. She's a lawyer, she's so organized, has everything together. And for such a woman to go off of a reference that is given to her by the woman who wants to nanny her children and just take that for face value is wild to me. Like, I know that she takes a liking to Polly. Polly was down on her luck. Something about her Caitlin liked. But she's a smart woman. So it's like, Polly could be giving you the phone number of anybody. Anybody. And it was. They could be lying. And they did. You don't do a background check. I mean, we can background check people these days, I think. You don't have to be a business to be able to background check people, I don't think. I've never background checked anybody. I've never had a need to, but I believe you can. And if you're going to be just giving someone your children, you probably should. So Polly becomes a live-in nanny. She befriends the dad, Miguel, and she starts keeping secrets with the older daughter, Emma. She coaches her, gets her on her side. And then going back to how Caitlin's character is so perfect and put together, she's very like outwardly, I don't want microplastics in my house. She wouldn't buy pesto with, I don't know, some kind of oil in it that is bad for you. But then you see her one day when Polly is taking care of the kids. She gets out on her own and she's got this secret plastic bag of M&Ms in her glove compartment in her car. And I just want to take a minute to talk about that because I don't have judgment to anybody either way, how they decide to live their life. If you are very natural, you don't want plastics, you don't want food dye, you don't want any kind of trans fats in your food, that's fine. But I don't understand why you need to put on a mask to everybody else and make it seem like you're one way when you're really just somebody who eats M&Ms in secret in your car. Like, why can't, there's nothing wrong with being like that outwardly, you know? Like, who cares if somebody judges you? But it's wild. Like, I have a 6-year-old and I feel like people, especially moms, I don't think that dads have the same culture amongst them or the same pressure. But it's like when you become a mom, you have to choose what kind of mom you are, you know? And if you're one way or the other, you're judged by other groups. And it's like, there's no one way to be a mom. There's no one way to be a human. It's not a crime to eat M&Ms. I eat M&Ms all the time. Love them. They're delicious. But I had to mention that because it's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But that stood out to me just because I'm a fellow mom, but I feel no need to pretend I am the dumpster fire that I am. So right off the bat, Polly is seducing both the mom and the dad and drugging them just out the gate. And then we see a familiar face, Martin Starr, a la Freaks and Geeks. He plays the friend Stuart. And we'll see him a little bit later, but I loved seeing that cameo because I love that show at Freaks and Geeks, and I really wish that it had gone on for longer because it was so good. But next, as predicted in these type of movies, you know, they set the mom up to be crazy. She has a baby, and so it's like the postpartum thing where women get written off by being crazy. And so that obviously is going to make her unbelievable and work against her when Polly is obviously trying to sabotage her and her family. Caitlin also is having trouble letting her daughter grow up. Her daughter, I believe, is 10 in the movie, the older one, and she's having issues with Emma getting closer to another female, and then just the usual family strains build up and just add to them being under attack basically by Polly. But another thing that I could definitely relate to, you know, like not wanting your kid to grow up. It is really, really hard as a mom to watch your kids grow up. You want them to, it's bittersweet. So I could definitely relate to that situation. So for a little bit, Caitlin is also kind of under Polly's spell for a little bit, but not for long because the mask starts slipping for Polly. And it's like, I personally, the entire time, I don't know if it's just because we're the audience and we know ahead of time pretty well how things are going to go, but I would say Polly from the beginning was odd. So at this point, though, she starts making it a little bit more obvious. It's a little bit harder for her to keep up the facade. So now, as promised, Stuart, we're going to talk about him again. He actually believes Caitlin when she starts talking about her concerns about Polly, and it's like the friend will believe you, but the husband won't. The husband's just like, you have problems, like you had a freak out postpartum, and so now I don't believe anything that you say, and I just think you're hysterical. Always is the case. The husband never believes you. So Stuart is like, I believe you. He's her best friend. He starts looking into Polly, which, again, I say, should have been done in the first place. And so right then, my prediction was, oh, he's gonna die. He's gonna die. There's a scene in the movie where Stuart goes through Polly's room and he takes her trash to his house. He's trying to get some DNA on her, and there is a tampon scene where he acquires the DNA from the tampon. Could have done without it, but he finds out who she really is. This is the part of the movie where I have problems. Well, I guess where I had the most problems, because this is very, very cliche. I have seen this in so many thrillers that it's like so unimaginative at this point. So through her DNA, he finds out that Polly is not her real name. Her real name is Rebecca. And Caitlin's real name is Jenny. Because apparently, so this is the twist. This is the one that I didn't see coming. So in the beginning of the movie, you see a girl standing outside of a burning house. That's where I kind of felt like it was like Orphan, because I thought that it was Polly slash, I'm gonna start getting confused with these names. Polly slash Rebecca. I thought she was just crazy and she burned her family's house down. But it turns out that Caitlin slash Jenny was being abused by Rebecca. Okay, I'm gonna start using their real names now. Was being abused by Rebecca's dad, but nobody would believe her when she reported it. And so here's where they lose me, because she decided that the only way to do something was to set their house on fire, which she knew that there was innocent people in that house, not just her abuser. So that is pretty messed up. So Stuart, bless him, he invites Rebecca over to his house to confront her, to tell her that she needs to be honest with Jenny. And I'm like, if you uncover all of this, do you not know how dangerous? Y'all in danger, okay? Call the police. But then I guess there wouldn't be much of a movie, or there wouldn't be much action if he did. But that was just so dumb and so cliche, because obviously she's gonna be like, okay. And then she asks him first, after he confronts her with all of this, she says, did you tell her? And he says no. So she's gonna be like, bet, I'm gonna kill you then. And that she does. She's like, oh, I'm sick, I have to go to the bathroom and throw up, you found out my secret. And then he's like, I'm sympathetic, blah, blah, blah. Can I get you anything? And then, of course, she's behind him. She knocks him out with a bat. And the dude didn't even try and save himself. He just sits there and just allows himself to be bludgeoned. And that scene was a gruesome head-beating scene. But it was so dumb and not believable. Like, put up some kind of fight. And then later on, her husband finally does believe, what, I'm getting the names confused now. Jenny? Yes. He finally believes Jenny, but only because he literally sees Rebecca on the hood of Jenny's car. And so the movie ends by Rebecca, she's chasing after Jenny. Their street has been having some problems with folks speeding. And so old girl gets hit by a car. And Jenny, even though she has been stabbed in the stomach, terrorized, had her family turn against her, she still sits there with Emma, like, and keeps Rebecca company as she dies in the street. And it's like, I know that Rebecca, is supposed to be sympathetic because her family was killed and she's getting revenge. It ruined her entire life. But I just don't think if I was Jenny, I would do that and still feel bad after what she did to me. Because Jenny was still a kid, and like, yeah, I don't understand the fire setting. I don't understand how that's supposed to like right the wrong of the abuse. I don't know why you would make that choice, because you're killing other people that had nothing to do with it, that are innocent. And I feel like, I don't know, that was a little wild. I need to draw the line somewhere. I don't think I could just like cry for the woman who just stabbed me in the stomach and tried to take my children, but to each their own. So at the very, very end, you see Emma telling the story that Rebecca tells her about being in foster care and eating tuna out of cans. And then when the cans ran out, you starved. Emma is telling this to her baby sister, I guess, to calm her down from crying. So I don't know if this is supposed to be setting up that this experience has changed Emma in some way, and that maybe she has sided with Rebecca, or like if she's going to be a problem in the future. I really don't know, but that is the way that the movie ended. And I really, really wanted to like this movie more than I did, but it definitely felt short. Not a must watch by any means. Like, literally only watch it if you feel so inclined, or if you just want to put something on that's new, because it is new. It just came out today, I believe. But yeah, just kind of meh. But aren't most remakes or reimaginings, aren't they? So my expectations should not have been very, very high. But I think just because of who's in it and I like them so much, I did have high expectations. It's not a complete garbage movie, but I think I saw that it was like had a 54% approval rating. Very, very, very average, bordering on slightly below average, but you know, not the worst thing I've ever seen. So there you have it. And that'll be it. And I'll see you next time.